Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let Us Connect again. As you can see, we're having a wonderful time tonight here in the studio with everyone, with all these lovely crew people and my wonderful guests that you're going to meet in a moment or meet again in a moment. And I just want to thank you for watching. And really, you know, the name of the show is Let Us Connect, and sometimes we don't really think of that or think about the very name, about the name, but it really is important. Let us connecting, and we want to connect with you, and we want to connect with our loved ones and with the messages and the gifts and talents that are within each one of us to learn how to recognize tonight and to be able to put into practice. That's, I think, really a lot of what we're here to do. Otherwise, why bother? So anyway, thank you for connecting with us tonight, and I just hope that you'll enjoy the whole evening. We've got a lot planned and a lot unplanned. And anyway, I'd like to invite you, of course, as I do. You know, I go through this every time, and maybe I'll mention it again at the end. I always say that if there's ever time, you know, to the Goleta Valley Community Center right now on Sunday mornings at 10:30. We may be changing locations soon and changing the whole thing. We've been there for 12.5 years, so keep in touch with us and keep listening as to some of the changes coming up. But we'd love to include you in that. So anyway, we're there right now at 10:30 in the morning on Sundays, and you can come and join our circle and enjoy the spiritual growth and unfoldment and the fellowship with others. All right, great. So this Sunday, you may come whenever you like, room 6 at the Goleta Valley Community Center. All right, and then we want to, I believe tonight I want to just mention the sponsors again and thank them. Sundowner Draperies, Circle of Friends Church, and we even have Pizza Guru, which we're not going to have tonight, but they're a wonderful sponsor, and you eat it and you find a slice of enlightenment, at least for the moment. So we'd love to have you try the pizza and get a hold of a lot of the sponsors that are really wonderful. All right, so anyway, I just want to get started now, and I just want to tell you that we have a most wonderful guest tonight, and she's my favorite guest there could ever be, and I invite her back as much as I can. And she's just such a multifaceted and sparkling, knowledgeable and fun person, a mother. She's from India and has come over here against all the tradition, probably. I'm not saying she's against all tradition, but, you know, leaving and coming to the West, and has wonderful 2 girls and a husband here, and does many, many readings. She's really wanting to do these readings to help spread the knowledge and to help everyone who will call. We have a toll-free number coming up also, and I'm just building you up because I bet most of you already know who it is. But if you don't, I want to right now present you, and thank you for coming, Usha Tuvell.
My pleasure.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Coming back to Let Us Connect.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's always my pleasure to be here, Martha.
Oh, and it's our pleasure. Look at we were already just in heaven before we even started. Everybody in the crew were all visiting, and we had to leave the room because, you know, it's just that's what you do. You do that. How do you do that? You just go in and just out comes our best. You know, that's a gift in itself.
Well, that's wonderful.
Instead of frowning when you go, oh no, there she is. You know, it's like, oh, that's wonderful.
I'm sure my kids think that at times, you know.
Well, our kids, you know, kids are kids, but they're learning and appreciating more than you know.
As they're getting older, I find that. Yeah. So it's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's just absolutely my pleasure to be down here. Wow. We left this morning and we didn't feel the earthquake.
You didn't feel it?
No, but last night I couldn't sleep. I had a very severe migraine, so I got up at 2:30 and I knew there's something going to happen.
You knew it.
But
you knew it.
Yeah, whenever there's an earth movement, I'm always hounded by earthquakes. I mean, by migraines.
Yes.
So,
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I had a migraine on Sunday. I don't have them that often, but I had several things, but I didn't connect them. And I think that's one thing we're going to talk about is how to recognize certain signs and get acquainted with them understand. We don't always have to have some authority, although we need it, I know I do.
For
but
sure.
we can also begin to recognize these signs.
Absolutely, and they would term them, before, they would term them as being superstitious, like if you saw 3 crows flying in a row or something, and people have gone away from it, We've gone away from it because of relying more on science and logic, because that was the dream, to become scientifically advanced as human beings. And now people are realizing it's not filling their lives.
Yes. I just read something not long ago. We're just right on the same page, of someone who said, I think some things are just maybe too big for logic to handle. And I thought, wow, I haven't heard that before.
That's
too
a good
big
way.
for logic to handle,
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I mean, you just can't figure it out. You just keep trying, and it's the same thing, and we need to release it, huh?
Exactly.
Maybe?
Absolutely. It's just like thinking that we're sitting on this planet and walking on it with gravity, but none of us see it,
That's true.
We don't see it. And if logic would have it, if we did not give that term the name gravity, we'd all be floating off into the big black hole and out in space somewhere,
It's so true. So floating something. Sometimes people go, well, I don't like the idea of universal laws. And I think, well, what about gravity? Aren't you glad when you set this down, it stays there? It doesn't just float away? I mean, there are some wonderful things that we need to understand and be grateful for.
Absolutely. And, people do need to understand that there are laws governing our growth as well.
Yes, our growth. Yes.
And our growth is not just one directional.
No.
It's a multi-directional growth with our mind, our spirit, our body, everything.
Yes.
So it is multi-dimensional.
Someone told me once, well, maybe, I'll do that when I get old and I get done doing all this. And it's like there's the idea that you can't have fun, or you can't be everything you want to be if you're spiritual, or you commit yourself to that. And I don't think that's true.
No, it's not true, because you can be spiritual. Back in India, we have people that go bindas, which means that they walk away from their family, their connection, their worldly goods and everything, the materialistic stuff, and they go, I'm just going to go up in the mountains and go live in an ashram, and I want to be one with God, But
Govinda, is that a name of Krishna? Govinda?
Govinda is the name of Krishna. Yes.
So they don't wait till they're like, I've heard that maybe when a person's older they go off. But you can do it at a younger age
At any age. Gautam Buddha himself, he was a young prince when he decided to go bindas,
Yes.
And that's when you go and seek for that. So people think that there is a big step to it. You have to give up things to gain things. Sure, there is a bit of giving up, but the gain is so tremendous.
Yes. Yes, tremendous.
You can't really put a value on it.
No.
It's a spiritual growth. It just makes you want to wake up and just, you feel right. You feel that you are fitting. You feel that you fit inside yourself,
So how could we do that here? Does getting away or getting off into nature or how would we since we're not in India, how could we try to find that here? This very materialistic and
India's plenty materialistic out there too.
Only thing I realized or thought about that was the names of their business and things. A lot of times are spiritual names. How does that work?
Yes,
like the Krishna, nail bar or something.
Well,
I don't know.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
How does that?
I think there was a school or a large company recently in India that named as its CEO Hanuman, the god, which is a birth form of Shiv, and he came as Hanuman to help Krishna when he came as Ram and Sita to help and fight against the